Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today let's do something very different, right? We have been always talking about plants and how to grow them well, and what kind of plants are suitable for what kind of environments, right? So it's very plant focused as what our past video has been, right? So I think today we want to change it up, but today we want to talk about more about environments, right? Focus on environments, and then from there evaluate to see what are the plants that are suitable for those environments. So today let's start with the balcony gardens, right? Many apartments they have balconies, houses have balconies, right? So typically balconies are good gardening spaces, right? They are pretty open, they are good air circulation, and there's a lot of sunlight and things like that, right? But not all plants are actually very suitable for such environments, right? Especially on balcony gardens. So let's look at all these different growing conditions that you can expect on the balconies, right? From there, we can understand, what kind of plants are more suitable and, what are the things that you need to take care of. Right, so let's start with the first growing condition, light. So most balconies, they have good amount of sunlight, right? Because they're open and meaning that you got a lot more gardening options. You can grow flowering plants, you can grow herbs, you can grow many plants, right? However, shade-loving plants most likely won't do well as the intense sunlight will burn their leaves, right? So the second condition will be water, right? So yes, so balcony, right, it is exposed to rain and all kinds of weather elements, right, depending on where you stay. Especially like tropical climate in Singapore, right, means that you get heavy downpours once in a while, right, a few times in a few weeks, right. With that, right, growing some kind of like succulents or cacti will be challenging. So you may have to modify a bit, like build some structure to shelter your plants, right? So the third condition is humidity. And given that, balconies, they are usually at the higher floors and most likely to be a lot more windy, right? And then from there, wind causes humidity level to fluctuate quite a bit. And actually, plants hate such fluctuations, right? Just such extreme fluctuation cause them a lot of stress, right? As it draws water away from the plants, right? So plants with like big leaves, broad leaves and things like that, right? They don't really do well. And the same goes for many other tropical plants who are very used to the humid climate, right? So the next condition about potting media, right? As balconies tend to be on the drier side because of the wind, right? Because of the strong winds, because of the strong sunlight, you can expect evaporation to happen more rapidly, right? And soil dries out faster in such environments. So you may have to water your plants more often, or you can adjust and modify your potting media to retain a lot more water, right? You can add in the water retaining media such as compost, dried sphagnum moss, so that it actually holds more water for longer periods of time, right? Because such potting media, they are good at absorbing water. So the last condition is feeding, right? So in this case, feeding is not largely affected over here, right? Depending on the kind of plants that you have, right? You will just continue to do the appropriate feeding, right? So the balcony will not affect how you fertilize your plants. And yes, right? So can you see, going through all these 5 growing conditions, right? You can easily identify and eliminate potential, problems in your garden, and you can select the most suitable garden plants, right? Because it is so powerful, right? It helps you to, choose the right plants that are more likely to succeed and grow in your environment. So this is what I call the grow method, right? So it's all about the environment, right? Your environment determines the kind of plants that you can grow, and if you can get this right, you will have a beautiful garden. So what are the plants that are suitable for balconies, right? What are the plants that they will do well in such balcony environments? So again, to sum it up again, right? Balconies, they are usually bright, right? They have good sunlight, right? Most likely they are a lot more windy, right? They can be also a little bit more dry. So cacti and succulents seems to be the good plants to keep, just that you have to protect them from the rain and the water, right? And another plant that is suitable will be the air plant, the tillandsias, right? They also do well in such drier and more windy environment. So if you are into other kind of plants like edibles or flowering plants, you can consider vining plants. Vining plants tend to do well on balcony as well. Right? So you can grow like the pinto beans if you want to grow edibles, but you can grow blue peas, you want to make the pastry and things like that, right? Or flowering vines like Hoyas, morning glory, right? They are good balcony candidates. And of course, right, each of them have different kind of like growing condition, different kind of preferences, right? So you have to adjust accordingly. Although balcony may be the ideal growing environment, but you have to adjust accordingly because they are just different plants with different preferences. So there you go. Balconies can be a great place to grow your plants. Right? All you need to know is to learn how to juggle the growing conditions. Right? How do you make adjustments, right, in various conditions so that you create the ideal environment for the plants, right? And of course, choosing the right plants for the environment itself. So I hope you learned something today, right? Not just about balconies, but also really appreciate the thought process, right? Using the grow method. So if you have any questions about gardening, you have any questions about the grow method, about the plants, or about growing environments, right? You can always comment below. Right? If you want to show me any photos, you want to show me anything, and from there evaluate your growing environment, you can also comment below. Watch my other videos and learn how to use the grow method, right? I have a lot of videos on there. So if you have not subscribed, make sure you do, because you are going to learn so much more, right? And you will become a better gardener. So don't miss out on my new videos, and until next time, I will see you soon. Enjoy your gardening.